The Fly Fifer Podcast. Let's talk. Your chat, your way. This episode is sponsored by J. Couriers. The people who care for your delivery.
I like the music.
Good, we're up there. Right, okay. I usually start with saying, Shout, sir. Welcome to another Fly Fifer Podcast. Maybe Claire should put me on this one, because I quite like being deep and meaningful into the camera, Claire. Yes, it's fine. Yes, as ever, I've got Claire here, who's my Jamie. Joe Rogan has a Jamie, I have a Claire, right, which is brilliant. But anyway,
thanks for explaining that.
Anyway, right, we are here today with the Ootsider. Maybe that's the big one now. The Ootsider, changing lives, and I'm sat with the proprietor, the director, the founder of the Ootsider, John Keogh. So, John, what's the Ootsider? You tell us what the Ootsider is.
So the Ootsider is it's a community interest company,
right?
And what we do is we make and sell high quality changing robes, right, which is for wild swimmers.
As we can see here behind John, we've product placed one, looking good.
We also make them for horse riders.
Right.
So that's an equestrian coat, and for guys dog walking and that as well. So that, and with all of the net profits that we get for that, we reinvest that and we make our own design sleeping coat, which you see here, which is a coat that converts into a sleeping bag,
right?
And we donate them free of charge to guys that's rough sleeping.
Right, okay.
So, as I say, we're a community interest company. The reason I wanted to make it a community interest company and not a charity is if I look at a charity basically gets all of its income, if you like, from donations.
Right.
And if you're just a normal company, you get all of your income comes from the products that you sell or the services that you provide.
Right.
I'm in the middle because I really wanted to have something. I didn't just want to take money. I wanted to do something as well. So that's why we have the products, and that's why we're a community interest company. Our community are rough sleepers, so it's a virtual community. It's no, it's not like an area. It's like a virtual community, and the community, as I say, rough sleepers worldwide.
Yeah. And I read it on the website about the Ootsider. It's a great take on the Scottish language. So I want you to tell us where you come to with the Ootsider. Because I liked that. When I read it last night, I was like, that's pretty cool.
So where I'm from, I don't know where you come from.
I'm Fly Fifer.
So what? Yeah, Fly Fifer. No, but what I mean is that from where I was brought up, we called. What do you call the outside a loaf of bread?
Exactly the same as you.
The Ootsider. Right. What do you do with the Ootsider? What do you do with your Outsiders?
You generally toast them.
Toast them? Or what else do you do with them?
A lot of folk bin them.
Right. So there you go. So that's the idea of the Ootsider. So what you've got is if you've got your nice and toasty, if you like, within your sleeping coat here, right? But you've also been binned, if you like, or you're cast out from society, right? So therefore you're an outsider, essentially. And you're sleeping outside. So that's where the thing with the Ootsider came. The other thing about the Ootsider is that the...
Very clever. Are you for Fifer now?
No. I'm not as clever as that.
I like that. That's a great take.
But the other thing is as well, so I've got 5 wee grandsons.
Right.
I had 4 at the time. I've got the youngest one now. And letters for each of their names make up the Ootsider.
All right.
And what you can see is if you look up here, you can see the different coloured dots. There's 4 coloured dots there.
Yep.
They represent one of my 4 grandsons at the time. So I'm going to need to get another colour in there as well.
Add another dot.
It. But that's the whole meaning of the Ootsider and what it means.
But look at it, you've got another E and another E, so you've got room for another dot.
I've got room for another dot. Yes. Room for another colour. Exactly. Yeah. So there we are.
So that's you, the company. Right, now I want to ask, it's who, which is you. What has driven you to start this? What has driven you to become the Ootsider? What's the reason? What's the purpose? Or let's focus on you for a minute. What's driving you to do this?
Driving me to do this. So this all started for me on the 23rd of December 2021, and I was in Glasgow shopping with my wife. We're doing a bit of last minute Christmas shopping, and it was pouring with rain, and it was freezing. And there was this guy on the street, and he was soaked through to the skin, and he was freezing, And I thought I was saying to my wife, this is this guy's lot. He's not going home for a warm plate of soup and a shower and a bath to heat himself up and sit and watch the telly the night. This is this guy's lot, And I went over to talk to him, and that's when I realised that he was rough sleeping as well. Had a number of bags with him, and the best I could offer him at the time was a sandwich,
right,
and a cup of coffee. I thought to myself, I'm going to do something about this. Right? I can't do anything for this guy. It's a wee bit, I can't do anything for this guy, essentially, right? But I'm going to do whatever I can for. I'm going to help as many people as I can from now on, and that's what I've done. And up until the end of December, which is today, right. We've managed to provide over 300 sleeping coats to guys. These guys.
These ones. Yeah.
We've managed to provide 300 of them.
Right, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's in a... Because obviously, what was that, 2021?
So I started. So that was 2021. That was the 23rd of December 2021.
Right.
I started looking at doing a design and one thing and another, and that's what that's where we got to. Can I go back and do a wee bit more on this?
Absolutely, keep going.
So what it was?
Take it anywhere you want to take it.
Right,
this is
so
about you.
If I go back, Claire, to. I'm just talking to myself now.
That's fine.
If I go back, and what I said is I'm going to help as many people as I can going forward. So I'm a wild swimmer.
Right.
And what I had is I had one of these branded changing robes at the time.
As we do. Both of us do.
Yeah. I hope you've got an Ootsider.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
That is on the spot, John.
So then I thought, I wonder if I could make these and donate them to guys free of charge. And that's what I've done. Yeah, that's what we've done. So, but the other thing is that struck me is the guy had his sleeping bag over him. And that was soaking through as well,
right.
And I thought, I wonder if I could make this and convert it into a sleeping bag,
right?
And so that's what we've done. So, and we call it the sleeping coat. So it's a coat that converts into a sleeping bag. The bottom part of it is a bag, so that can unzips. Right. You can put your coat in it during the day or some of the other stuff, and then you zip it up when you want to go to sleep or lie down, and it keeps you nice and warm and dry. And so that's how we started. And as I say, up until the end of December, we've now been able to provide over 300 sleeping coats.
And that's from time frame the 300.
So that was from we started the company in July 2022.
Right.
So that's like 2.5 years we've managed to do that.
Right.
And that's been
across
the UK. Across majority are in Edinburgh and Glasgow, the central belt.
Yeah.
But I've sent some down south. There's some at Bristol. There's some at North Shields. Sent some to the Turkish earthquake, and I sent some to Ukraine for the war there as well.
So you're saying you sent them? How did you send them? Did you fund them yourself? Did you? So how did you fund them then?
So what we do is how we actually fund the coats essentially is by how we fund the sleeping coats is we buy we make and we sell our changing robes,
right?
Or the coats that I spoke about earlier.
So the Ootsider, the one you've got there, that's more a change. That's
a changing robe.
That's a changing robe.
Yep. And then so what we do is we make and sell these. Now they're handmade in Scotland.
Right.
Okay. I use all the suppliers that I have are in the UK because they're ethically handmade.
Right. Okay.
I want to make sure that it's a fair wage that the folks are getting that make them.
Yep.
So I have, as I say, everything that I buy is by the suppliers that are in the UK.
Yeah.
And they're handmade in Scotland. So it's a friend of mine who makes them.
Yeah.
He's been a seamster or a tailor, if you want, all his life. This is what he's done. So he now makes them for me.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to go backpedal a wee bit into you. It's no your everyday person. There must be 100 thousands of people walk past people on the street, give them a wee donation, a sandwich, a fiver. I do that myself. It's not everybody that decides I'm going to change the world, or I'm going to change or help as many people as I can. What's pushing you to do this? What is inside you that wants this to happen? Why?
That's a good question.
Yeah, there's something driving you.
I think I love helping people.
Yeah.
You know.
So do I. Open doors for folk, but
uh,
I've no went and did what you've done.
So,
do you know what I
here's
mean?
the thing. So here's the thing as well, right?
Because this is admirable, John, in my
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
You know, it's,
So I think here's the thing as well, right? Is that I was able to do it. So I think that throughout my life, I've always helped. Any time that I've seen somebody begging, I'll maybe get them a cup of coffee or give them like a McDonald's or a Greg's or something like that. What happened that day, I don't know. Right, it was just something different that happened that day. It had a profound effect on me, actually. You know, and that's what's that's the drive to do it. And the more that you talk to folks that's on the street, folks that's sleeping, the more that I want to. I think the key thing for me is that I'm not going to solve homelessness. And that's not my goal. My goal is to keep folks warmer and drier when they're in the position that they're in. It's an immediate thing, right? Now, keeping people warm and dry, that's two of our most basic human needs.
Yeah.
Just be dry, just be warm. Right? Yeah. And the thing is, with doing that, if you can help somebody to be, so here's the thing.
Here's the passion.
Here's the passion, right? So see when you're waking up.
This is John.
But the thing is, right? So look at the day as the now, right?
Aye.
So
you
got up at your bed this morning, and you were nice and dry and warm. You come out in this weather here, right? And you're miserable, right? So sorry, I'm no. He's miserable. Claire, you're all right.
Listen, it's a rumour about Fifers, all right. That miserable part is a rumour.
No, but what I'm saying is that you're miserable. Now, can you imagine being cold and damp, cold or freezing and soaking through? You didn't want to do anything, right? But see if you're warm and you're dry. You feel better. You feel better about yourself, and then so what we're trying to do here is try and help folks to make better decisions simply by keeping them warmer and drier. There's lots of organisations out there provide food and other clothing and whatever. But what you're doing here is so these sleeping coats. So they sell for like £160. If you want to buy one, they're £160 for that, right? Yeah. So I'm coming along to you. You're on the street, and what I'm saying to you is, here's a coat. Right, here's a coat that will keep you dry and warm. But what am I also saying to you? I'm also saying I care about you. I'm trying to help you. Yeah. And I think just having somebody give you something of value, then they look after it. They keep it. I've not seen any of these lying about anywhere on the streets. Anytime I go back and talk to some of the guys that I've actually provided them to, they're always appreciative, right? And you know something? They remember who it is. They remember you. Yeah.
Did you ever find, that was son, before I forget to ask this question, did you ever find the guy that sparked this?
No.
And
I went.
Have you searched? Have you looked?
Oh, definitely.
I guess you would have.
You definitely.
You definitely would.
The thing is, as well, it's they're very transient. Folks that's rough sleeping. A lot of different reasons that they're on the streets, and I know that if you look at what you say is that the rough sleepers are the most visible of the homeless. Definitely they are, right? However, there's a lot of rough sleepers that don't want to be visible because they're victims of crime or whatever, they've been in maybe an abusive relationship. There may be somebody looking for them, so not all of them are visible, and I think the thing is, you see, is that not everybody that's begging will be rough sleeping, but I would imagine that everybody that's rough sleeping will be begging to some, and that's just that's just a generalisation, James.
They'll be doing what they can to survive.
They're doing what they can to survive, So why do I want to help them? because I'm in a position now to be able to do that. You know, it's like, why did I not do it before? No idea. No idea, right? It's just something on that particular day, that particular time, that particular guy.
Here's a profound thing.
Yeah.
Ain't it the weirdest thing ever that it's took someone on their knees, if you want, however you want to talk about, on their knees, on their arse, in life, to change you.
Aye.
And then that sparked you to try and change other people in his position.
Yeah.
Isn't that a weird thing that changed you?
So here's the thing is as well, what you're saying there, I suppose, James, is that the bit about that is that, you know, you've got I'm out there trying to help other people, but they have made. I'm going to say
because it's almost like if that guy wasn't there, he might never have changed you.
Exactly,
You know,
right? And it's brilliant to be able to go and help. You know, I've retired, so I'm able to do it now. I've got the time and I'm very passionate about what I do.
Yeah,
you know,
you can see and feel it.
You know, most things in life, if I decide I'm going to do something, I'm very passionate about it. You know, and here's another thing as well is that so I've been in engineering all my life, right? Electronic manufacturing, engineering, and I was head of engineering at Jabil. So when I retired,
is that here in Livingston?
Jabil's just up the road.
Just up the road. Yeah.
So
if there's anybody at Jabil that
it's shut down now.
Oh, is it shut down? Right, okay. So we can't ask them for a donation. He gave you all his life as a worker, you know. So we can't go there. Right, sorry about that.
No, but the thing is
engineer.
So I didn't know where I was going with
engineer at Jabil. Sorry, I jumped. All your life.
I don't know. I'll come back to it.
Sorry.
What were we talking about before I said that?
The outsider. Does it come easy this age?
I was able to do it, and that's what. No, here's the thing I was going to tell you, right? That when we were, when you're in a job and whatever, you're always working towards metrics. You know, what's your objectives? What you got to do the day? You know, you're giving folks reviews and feedback and stuff like that. So I was talking to an organisation. I was looking to try and get some funding, which I didn't get. But maybe take that out.
Doesn't matter. Just didn't mention them. You've not mentioned anybody, so don't worry about it.
But take that bit out because
listen, you can chap.
You never know what's going to happen in the future.
John, the real world is you will chap 100 doors and only 30 will get answered.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. You've mentioned their names. It doesn't matter. There is 100 million funders out there. They can't give to everybody.
So here's the thing, right? So saying to me, right, okay, so what's your objectives for the Ootsider? I was like, I don't have any objectives. Well, you need objectives. I says, no, I don't need objectives. Right? I said, because what it is that if, you know, I've had objectives all my life, right? I want to enjoy myself now. I enjoy myself doing what I'm doing. So I'll do what I can for as many people as I can. That's my objective. No, you need an objective. You need an objective. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to donate 1 million sleeping coats in 10 years. Oh, you can't do that. I said, well, how can I not do that?
Yeah.
Right? No, that's simple. I said, but here's the thing, right? That's my objective. That's my vision. That's what I'm going to do, right? And because if I say to you, you know, I'm going to make I'm going to donate 1,000 coats, you'd say, all right, that's good. Yeah. But when I say to you, we want to donate 1 million coats, right? You think to yourself, how are you going to do that? I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I need to think differently in order to do it.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the fact that it's something easy or it's something simple. I'm going to need to think about it.
Yeah.
But I'll do it. Right? And until I get to that 1 million coats, then I'll be continually thinking about different ways and how you got to do it and whatever. But one of the key things is they will remain being manufactured in the UK.
Right.
Right? I want to ensure that we're ethical. You know, an ethical, and for me, ethical is the fact is that they're, you know, partly what I mean by ethical is that I want to make sure there's a fair wage. It's made in the UK, and folks in the UK are benefiting from, you know, like the folks that's making them. You know, it's helping folks in the UK with their lives as well. But what we'll be doing is, you know, we'll be able to provide these, hopefully on a global basis. Yeah. As I say, if you've got to do 1 million, then that's where I want to go.
1 million. And you've done 300.
I've done 300.
But you've only just started.
You've only just started.
There's time. There's time.
10 years.
So, working with homeless and stuff like that, what sort of things, where have you went with that so far? Have you approached other, I mean, you don't need to name any organisations, but I can, because I've spoke to Social Bite, had a great conversation with them at their office down in Leith. Alan and I did that about a year ago now, and one of the guys there was a rough sleeper, was heavily into addiction. The new Sonny Murray, or the real Sonny Murray, I always get that wrong, sorry Sonny. He's went on to do a thing in the city where it's the real city tours. And it's an amazing thing what that guy's doing, but that all come through Social Bite helping him get on his feet. And I know he'll watch this, and I know he'll be like, speak to that guy, we need to do something there. You know, I know he will want to do that, and he's become a great speaker for the homeless.
Brilliant.
You know, and addiction and stuff like that as well. So do you reach out to organisations like Social Bite? Because there's no just Social Bite. I had another guy on, Paul, what's Paul's surname? I should have known that. But anyway, I had Paul on.
If you're watching, Paul, get back to him.
I know Paul. I know, and he only posted this morning what and stuff shared. But anyway, Paul Bogey. How could I forget?
Paul Bogey. Paul wrote the book.
Paul, who wrote the book.
I know Paul.
You know Paul. Good.
Yep,
so you've had a communication there with him about the Ootsider and that?
Yep.
Great, fantastic. Because if you hadn't, I was going to say that laddie, what he's doing is phenomenal. I mean, he's wrote a book, Heroin to Hero.
That's right. He's not wrote two now.
He's wrote two. He's wrote a second one because he needed, you know, it was part of the story. But Heroin to Hero, I think the last time I spoke to Paul, he said £20,000, that not a penny went into his pocket. It all went to stuff. And rather than paying it to an organisation, he bought stuff. You know, he bought pillows, sleeping bags, socks, gloves, things like that. So these organisations, I'm assuming you're banging on their doors as well.
I suppose.
Again, not everyone can help, but
I think everybody's doing. You know, there's so many brilliant organisations out there doing great things. You know,
because John Kenny spoke highly yesterday at the Polar Bear Club.
Kenny
spoke very highly of you yesterday.
Kenny,
you know, so
I know Kenny. Yeah. And Kenny's had his own journey and stuff like that as well that he puts out there. No, Kenny's doing a brilliant thing as well. But as I say, there's so many. Honestly, there's so many brilliant organisations out there, as you say. So you mentioned them, like Social Bite. You mentioned what Paul's doing. There's also I'm trying to go a wee bit further afield now as well. So, but one of the ones that I do have I do work a bit closer with is the Breakfast Bothy in Edinburgh.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
So I have quite a good relationship with them.
That's one I didn't know so well.
The Breakfast Bothy,
right.
So they're based in, I'm sure it's the Meadows actually in Edinburgh, and they've now got a shop as well. But the latest one I'm working with is down in Chelmsford.
Right.
And so what I've done is, and it's called Cool to Be Kind. And they've got their outreach team who goes out and helps guys that are sleeping. And I sent down 2 coats to them, you know, so I donated 2 coats to them. And Laura was the person that got them. She took them out. Got brilliant feedback from one of the guys that they give them to. And you know, so I'm trying to build up relationships there so as I can go across the UK. But I think the thing is as well with the charities and other organisations, they're doing what they want to do.
Yes.
My thing
busy
here,
doing what they're doing.
And they help where they can.
Yes.
Right? So that's and I appreciate that 100%. The other thing though is that what I'm trying to do, right, is that I'm trying to help. I'm trying to give somebody some immediate help.
Right.
You know, so if you're, you know, and again, this is how different charities do different things, or different organisations do different things. If I come along to you and say, James, you know, and you're freezing there, would you like a coat? Or would you like me to go back and say, you know, I'm going to talk to my MP to make sure you're all right. What you got to do? You got to take a coat.
The jacket,
give me the jacket, mate. Right? So, and I think that's the thing about it. That's the as I say, that's what I do, and that's what I want to do. You know, And they get a number of different different charities all do a brilliant job. And I'm trying to work with the charities that I feel as though that I have an affinity with, and that they also want to work and help me as well. Do you know?
Right.
I'm not going to ask them to do something that they don't want to do. It's different for their mission, if you like.
Yeah.
So I want to work with charities that want to do, or organisations that want to support what it is that I'm doing. No change what I'm doing, but
support it.
Support what we're doing, exactly, because I support whoever I can, or we'll support whoever we can. One of the things that I forgot to mention as well here is that when I was designing the coat, so I went out and slept rough with guys in Glasgow and Edinburgh and Falkirk it was as well, right? But what I was getting is I wanted to get their inputs to make sure. So I had my idea or whatever, right? But it was good to go out and talk to them and get their inputs. These are the guys that was actually got to be using it. So that, and it went through a couple of iterations. I got some great feedback from them, which makes it the coat that it is just now.
Yep.
And one of the things, again, I've got to come back to the organisation in Chelmsford. The lady Laura handed it out, and she got the feedback, and the guy said, it's been brilliant. I've been wearing it. I don't think I've actually taken it off. He's all had it for I got it on Christmas Eve, so I had it over a few days. And he gave me some feedback on a couple of things that I'm wanting to try and incorporate into it as well.
Right.
And I think the good thing is, because they're handmade, right, and I've not got shelf loads of them anywhere. I get them made when I get the money. So how it is you buy, somebody will buy like a changing robe or a horse riding coat or a dog walking coat, and what they'll do is when I get the profit out of that, I'll get some coats made. Right. So now what I can be saying is, could you make a couple of these changes here? So, it's, and I didn't want to make, I'm not going to take on board the fact is, I'll take on board everything that folks say. Doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with it or I'm going to change it, but
you're managing what you can to make it better.
Exactly. If it's got to make it better, then if it's got to be better for for everybody, then definitely.
So you've said earlier that one of these jackets for the wild swimmer or the wild dipper or whatever, right? I come on to you and I buy it for what did you say there? 100.
So the
varied prices. I think 140
so
to whatever.
150 quid drop.
Right.
Let's just say 150 quid.
How much of that are you managing to squirrel away to this?
So what it is, they cost me just over £100 to make. Right,
that one,
right? Yeah. Because they're handmade.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
And they're made to order.
Good quality.
Oh, they're fantastic.
When
quality,
I lifted that one and felt it, I was like, well, that's a wee bit different to the one that we bought. Because we've bought a couple.
No, these are high quality. And I can go into the specs, but the specs don't mean a lot to a lot of people. But they're very high quality, and as I say, they're handmade. So my pricing policy, is that for every two, I would like to be able to make a sleeping coat. Right, it doesn't always work. Right, it all depends.
And is that sleeping coat the same?
Definitely.
Quality as that? It's the same material, same build,
same material, same.
Because that's bloody good. Like.
No, I've had a lot of great feedback on them. So that's basically where I am. So for every two, approximately every two, do you know? And that's what I've tried to do. So, and then you spoke earlier about no taking a penny. I don't take any money out of the company either, right? All of the when I talk about the net profits, what we've got is we've got an office essentially, and essentially that's where the money goes for my office and whatever. I don't take any money out of the company. Be brilliant to be able to do that maybe going forward. Be able to do it, but no. That's been like 2.5 years or so.
Early days.
Early days. Yeah. But see, the thing is, I'm not bothered about getting money out of the company, right? What I want to be able to do what it is that I do.
Because if you've retired, if you've retired, you've got a pension, so you've got an income, But this,
But I think the main thing is that I want to make sure that we can help as many people as possible, and that's what we're... as you go, if you've got to try and get to 1 million or whatever, then the organisation's got to need to grow. I'm going to pay somebody sometime.
At some point, you're going to have to bring staff in. Yeah. You maybe don't need shelf loads of these or a warehouse full of them, because you can get them made and just
Well, here's the thing as well, is that I'm not going to have shelf loads of these anywhere, because I don't want to keep stock.
No.
You know what I mean? What I want to do is to be able to... So
it's a pointless way of working nowadays, because you're always left with something that never moves.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. So my process is that I want to be able to make the process of making them more effective and efficient rather than keeping stock.
Right.
Yep. So that's my kind of philosophy there.
Right. Okay. So the Ootsider, what sort of what barriers, what challenges have you got? The Ootsider, no John. The Ootsider. What challenges? And you don't need to name names, but just what's the hardest thing? What's the wall you keep hitting? A repetitive wall? Because there'll be one. Guaranteed.
Yep. I think one of the things is that it'd be brilliant to get more sales and more donations, I suppose. Do you know something? And that's no...
So then marketing.
Marketing. Right? So
what
we're looking to do is marketing, social media, you know, our website, the website. So when we first done the website, you know, you're thinking to yourself, this website's brilliant. You know, these knees, you know. But it's not until you start adding bits and pieces to it and you do that, and then you think, this is not as efficient as it could be. You know, so one of the things we need to be focusing on there is getting our website upgraded, you know. Right. And that's not at all to do with the website as it is at the moment. It's just we've moved on. It's called progress. Yes, you know, we've moved on. So we need to get the website upgraded. Social media, marketing, just media in general. I think that the more we can do with that, the better. What I find...
it's murder when you're on your own, mate.
Definitely,
it's murder trying to do all these different things. Because you're not just the director, the manager, you're the receptionist, you're the marketer, you're the salesman, you're the buyer. It's brutal. I know it. I get it.
But see, the thing is as well, you know, you're doing, you know, like social media, right? So I do social media how I think social media should be, and probably it's no. Do you know what I mean? So getting help.
That's the thing. Does the Ootsider have its own Facebook page?
Yeah.
Does it have its own Twitter? Does it have its own? Where are you at with all of them?
So I don't have its own Twitter. Right? I've got its own. So it's got Facebook. What's our one? Instagram.
Yeah.
And
because the beauty of that is you post to one, it goes to the other. Ideal.
But you know,
avoid. For me, all these social media things are important. You said about the grandkids and stuff like that. Do they have TikTok? How old are they? Are they young? Are they old? Are they? I don't know. I never.
One's 12.
Right.
No, but it's like
because exposure is everything for this.
So but see, the thing is with the grandkids, it's like you know. So say, can you help me? Aye, give me that. Right, Granda. There you go. What have you done? Simple. No, but I'm asking you what you've done. Because it's not simple to me. Show me.
Show me,
Granda, I'll show you again. It's like, it doesn't matter, right? So, but what it is that I think you need more. I need more of the social media. And do you know something? It's not just about having a number of likes and whatever, right? It's how do you get a bigger reach? Because what I feel as though that my reach at the moment is it started with all the swimming groups, and the number of swimming groups around Fife and the Lothians and whatever, and that's kind of my core, right? And then I've got I'm from West Lothian, Wingeborough, Bridgend is where I was born actually. Went to school in Lithgow, lived in Wingeborough for a long period of my life and that as well, you know, so I post in the pages. Right. Yeah. So, and I get.
But you can do it on a Monday, but no a Tuesday, and sometimes a Saturday, but no Sunday.
But
believe me, I've had a rant about this.
But see, the thing is as well, right? And I'd love to be able to. How do I expand the audience, if you like? How do you get more people that are really interested, rather than going back to the same people all the time? So here's an example, right? Yeah. So let's just say you're on my Facebook page, right? Yeah. And you see, John's doing something there. I'm going to make a donation there. I'll make a donation if I'm just going to say 50 quid or something like that, right? So that's great, brilliant. And then 2 months later, 3 months later, you know, there's John's doing another thing. I just give the guy 50 quid. I'll tell you what, I'll give him 20 quid, right? And then another couple of months, and you think,
He's at it
He's
again.
at it again, you know. And I feel
Christ,
bad about doing
there's
that.
that, John.
Aye. And I feel bad about doing that,
Aye.
right? Because, how can I, and what I encourage folks to do is by helping, you know, share the post. I'm not just asking, share, like, you know,
share.
so we can actually get more and more people involved here, do you know?
I'm going to say to you, son, that I've said to a few of the charity people that I've spoke to, is like, don't wait on a guy like me chapping your door. Go chap theirs.
Aye.
There's hundreds of guys talking like this.
Yeah.
Thousands of podcasts out there. And the length and breadth of the country. Now, you want to keep manufacturing in the UK, everything like that. That's all very positive. You need to be champing the doors.
But I'm only myself. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and I think that's the thing as well. I'm going to get some help after the year. I've got, there's three folks in particular. It's been really, really good. We're putting a board together now as well, which has got to be fantastic. I've got a board, but we need to put one together that's going to drive us forward. Whatever. So we're doing
Talk
that.
to as many people as you can.
Aye. But see, the fact is, so one of the things that I have started doing, and I know we're jumping about a wee bit
That's
here,
okay,
or whatever,
it's okay.
right, is that, so from a personal perspective, you know, what I'm wanting to do here at the moment is to, as I mentioned earlier, is to help folks in the here and now. What can you do that's helping them immediately, the here and now, right? And that's what I want to do, right? Now, everything else that you look at, it's all about, you know, all the different charities and whatever. It's all about curing the problem. You know, curing the problem. I'd love to be able to. How do you prevent it? Right? How do you prevent it? So prevention is always better than cure. So what I've started to do now, and what I believe, right, is one of the things that I've always believed is that the person that or the organisation or whatever that creates the problem is not going to solve it, right? No. So. You know, there's been a number of things, you know, but we've got the government trying to solve everything. No, we'll go to the government and whatever, right? So what I believe is, and this is my own perspective, is who will solve this problem, if anybody, is the kids, right? The kids that are at school at the moment, you know, just starting school, primary, secondary school, whatever. That's the generation that I believe that will make a difference, you know? And so what I'm trying to do now is I've been into 2 or 3 schools now, and I've got another few lined up after a year to go in, and just, it's about awareness, right? It's about awareness and it's about education, because if you can get, you know, everything happens at school, everything starts at school, you know, and if you can maybe spark the, you know, get some kids thinking about something a wee bit differently and whatever, I think they'll be the ones that will make a big difference going forward, and it'll be about prevention rather than cure. And I think if we can just get that into the mindset that how do we go about prevent? Yes, you need to cure it at the moment, and that's what I'm doing. I'm helping if all the charities are doing that there. But how do we get the prevention? Now, there'll be a number of charities doing prevention rather than, but what I'm saying is that they always talk about this grassroots. You know,
grassroots.
I hate that, actually. I hate
but
that
it's a very good analogy.
But it definitely is an analogy, right? And if we can get in there and we can get that done, then that is where I feel we're going to make a big difference, you know?
So it'd be quite good, like the kids might spark onto a football team, the kids might spark onto mum and dad that's a wild swimmer. Oh, we had this guy in at school today and he does that. There's a sale maybe. You know what I mean? A football team. The coaches all wear big long jackets. They're all getting soaked on that line every Sunday.
But they're all sponsored.
They're all sponsored, but their sponsor could be buying. You know, I mean, you know yourself with football teams, yes, they are all sponsored, but you know, that sponsor's giving them the money. The team spends it. Yeah. So, what, you know, it might spark a coach getting an outsider.
Well, one of the things that we are, I know you're jumping in there, is Street Soccer Scotland.
Perfect.
So we've got a great relationship with Street Soccer Scotland. They've been really good for us as well. So, and they're a bit different again, you know. But what they're doing is a fantastic job there as well.
I had Peter Wood, the comedian up in Aberdeen, is an advocate for Street Soccer Scotland as well.
These guys are fantastic. You know, the job that David and his whole team are doing is just phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? And been fortunate enough to meet David and talk to David. and
It's great.
so it'd be fantastic for somebody like that, being an advert, and they are, but
so you're going into the schools and that, like what you're saying, the street soccer thing.
Yeah.
So is that what's sucking up a lot of your time? Is like the travelling, going in, the talk? Because there's a day, there's
definitely,
the prep for that. Is it maybe that one of your helpers or somebody that comes on does that part to allow you to do the sales part?
Or maybe vice versa.
Or vice versa,
Vice versa. It needs to be, because I think that...
Because you're a good talker, John. And
Right, okay.
you're good at this talking thing. You're good at talking about the Ootsider. So I feel you're the face of this brand that needs to pump it.
Aye. I think the thing is I think that it's not a job to me. Right. This is a...
It's a calling.
It's
a calling, really.
No, I'm John, I'm no Colin.
No,
But,
a calling. It's a fight for me again. Can't help it.
No, but what is it? A vocation, maybe. Maybe it's getting near that, because you talk about nurses having a vacation, and I never seen that. I thought, what's a vacation? What's a vacation? Until COVID came along, and then you seen what a vacation was with the nurses and the frontline, all the frontline staff. But the thing is, for me, is that I'm passionate about this.
No doubt.
All the time.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? It's not just...
That's why I'm saying you have to be the one talking.
Aye.
Because people buy for people, like we discussed earlier, and that passion,
And maybe, I don't know if it pisses folk off at times or whatever, right? Because it's almost like...
See if you piss somebody off, they remember you.
Aye, well, there you go. Aye. So,
For all the wrong reasons. No news is bad news.
but the thing is getting into, I love to go and talk about it, I don't talk about... I didn't like talking about myself, but I like talking about the Ootsider.
Yes.
And that's what I'm passionate about, is helping... Again, goes back to the thing is that the whole thing, I think you're getting back to the day that I met that guy, I'm going to help as many people as I can.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do. And that's what I will do.
Yeah.
So
I quite like it. It's like, two of these jackets creates one.
Yeah.
It would be great. I mean, I know the manufacturers will be squeezing as much as they can to help you strive it forward, you know what I mean? So, I'm trying to think, where was I going with that? I've lost myself now on my... See, it's age, mate. It comes to us. So, two of them creates one. So it's sales. It's sales, eh? I'd really like to hear you. I'd like to be sitting back looking at my phone and, there he's done another podcast, or he's done it, or he's been in at the radio, or he's been somewhere.
Brilliant. And if you can help me with that, fantastic.
I mean, I think that's something.
See, what I'd like to get to, one of the things as well is maybe...
Because you've got a list there, you should go through that as well. Just when you touched that there, there's bits.
No, there's bits and pieces. I've kind of went through it all. It was just wee reminders, because when you get to my age, like you've just done, you just forgot
what I had it and it was there, and then
I forgot what I was going to say now. No, one of the things is I think that would really help is if we can get some level of corporate sponsorship. Yeah. And that would be fantastic.
A football team with their guys warming up with these on.
So
something a bit higher up, a rugby team, or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But not necessarily even just for that. I think the thing is, for me, it's the thing is, it's about the sleeping coats and how many I can actually donate.
Yeah.
Selling the changing robes and the equestrian coats and whatever is a vehicle to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
That, before we go, because I'm going to forget this again if I didn't jump in, can someone come to you and say, I want to buy one of them for a guy outside? Yeah. Rather than, listen, I'm not going for the 2-for-1, I'll buy one for me and the missus. But can they just come and buy that?
Yes.
And what cost is that?
So it's £160. No, right. So what it is, so here's the thing is this, what I like to do, James, here, right, is that, so if you came along and you said to me, I want to buy one, right, well, what you're essentially, so it's £160, right? Yeah,
to get that, for the rough sleeper.
But if you says to me, I want to buy two, well, I can get three made. So you buy two, right, but I donate three. Yeah. Right? Because you're getting it at cost price.
That's a 2-for-1 again.
2-for-1 again, right? Yeah. And that's what I'm aiming to do. But I'm not going to give you it for £100. right? Because that's, it's I need to be able to be making a profit in order to do this. So if you buy one, that's great. The other 50, 60 quid will go to making the second one, right? But if you want to buy two, then you would get three.
Yeah.
Right?
Aye,
That's how it would
Makes
go,
sense,
right?
aye.
Only if they're going to guys that's rough sleeping. We have some folks that's maybe using these for camping. So if you come along and buy two of them for camping, then no,
it doesn't really make sense.
No,
to do that,
because
but
what
it
will
looks
happen,
like it's a good thing for that.
oh,
as
definitely.
Well.
But what would happen is I would donate a coat then to somebody that was rough sleeping. So you're getting the same thing.
The same thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, where you're at now? What's like an immediate need? What do you need right now?
So again, I see we're getting back to the corporate sponsorship.
Yeah.
So it was sports and one thing and another, but just corporates, right? Or organisations, Scottish organisations, if you like, or even
UK wide.
aye, whatever. Just to be able to help as part of their, I don't know if it's called corporate sponsorship or corporate. I forget the word right now, James. I'm calling you James. Your name is James. Aye.
Yes.
Right. I thought it was
I've
calling.
been called many a thing like.
Aye.
But I'll settle for James.
Aye, no, but the thing is, if we can get some of that, that would be fantastic.
Right.
And I think what I was getting back to before, sounding a bit like Billy Connolly here. Let's go back to it. But remember, I was saying, as you go and I'm asking the same people all the time, how do I get a bigger audience out there? How do you get that? I read somewhere about like having a tribe. Or whatever it is, and these are the guys that's following you and they're always helping and they're always doing something, how can I get a wider audience that's helping and with the mission, which the mission is providing sleeping coats, and if that has to be through selling these, brilliant, but if there's more that can be done from a sponsorship collaboration type thing, then that would be brilliant as well.
I am not here to sell anything to you. I'm not here to sell any organisation.
Yeah.
But you and I were both in an organisation that we spoke about out with the cameras.
Yep.
And I'm going to mention it, BNI.
Yep.
And that helped me tremendously locally.
Yeah.
Right? It's bugging me sitting and listening that maybe that could help you nationally. Maybe it is. Get back in there on somehow or an organisation like it. Doesn't have to be BNI. There's hundreds of them out there. But to take it to like businesses, other companies, big, small, whatever, maybe it's a route like that, some sort of networking group of some sort. Because that's screaming that to me. Because you need to be like one place where it goes to 10 that tells 10 that tells 10. That sort of thing.
It'd be brilliant if that worked.
I know it doesn't always work. I know that.
No, I've been, as I say, so I was in BNI as well. Great.
There is other networks. It's not just about being. I get it.
But the fact is that I'm not in it now because I'm too busy.
You're too busy,
I mean, right?
You're one man.
Would I go back and go into it again?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Do I have any negative effect? No. I'm happy.
I think like BNI. There's another one in Edinburgh. I forget the name of it, but I mean, for you being a kick and for what you're doing, you're probably going to get in free. I would have hoped so. Because they all do charitable. So I don't know. Maybe if that's a door you can chap. Is there a way in that's not costing this charitable organisation, this kick, any money to get in and network?
So one of the things, and another one that I wanted to mention as well, corporate or a large organisation anyway, is 2i testing. 2i testing, and I met them through a guy called James Hamilton. So I met James, and then can I get Jenna? Jenna McCromisky was the other person. James introduced me to Jenna, and then I was invited through to talk at their open day, or their, it's like an open day there for the organisation. I'm sure there was something like 120, 150 people were there. It was in Glasgow, and they've got offices in Edinburgh, Birmingham, and London. Do you know?
Right.
But afterwards, I was the CEO came up and spoke to me, and I'm going to meet with Dave later this month as well, because they're looking to what can they do to help.
Yep.
And if I can get something, I will get something out of that, because they're a brilliant organ. They've been great to me, essentially.
Good.
If I can get more like that, if I can get that one sorted, if I can get more like that, then that's kind of where I would like to be able to go. You know, because if I can, and I think the thing is as well, you can go and talk to schools, but if you're talking to organisations as well who are able to fund something, maybe they're funding an education unit or whatever. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's the kind of it's all about how do we get to helping as many rough sleepers as we possibly can, and see at the end of the day, see if the goal, see if the end thing is that, do you know something? The number of cuts you need to make this month, John, is 0. That's brilliant, because that way we're solving the problem. Do you know? Yeah, I want to get to 1 million, right? The only reason I want to get 1 million, there always got to be wars, right? There's always got to be folk running away, having to get away from their own country. We've got the refugee camps. They're your ultimate rough sleepers. That's always going to happen. But for kind of in the communities and whatever, if we can just get that issue, if we're looking at getting the prevention rather than the cure, and you can start something there to get that going, get the seed going, that would be fantastic. If
you start getting these going out to other countries, you're no needing that. I mean, other countries might be slightly warmer, so then maybe the cost of construction will come down a little, because it needs to be waterproof, but it might not be as costly to get them made for a warmer climate, if you like. So I think we've covered pretty much everything as the Ootsider. Is there anything else you wanted that's in the book there that...
No, I've covered kind of everything. It was brilliant to have a good conversation.
I really can't stress enough, chap the doors of people that are doing this and speak to them and spend an hour of your time getting as many as out there
Here's
as much
thing.
as
Can
you
you chap some doors for me?
I mean...
Or give me some doors to chap.
I can send the links to people that I've spoke to.
Aye.
I can send, here's a good guy doing a good thing. I mean, I'm surprised Paul's donated something at some point. If he has, I don't know. But, I mean, people like Paul, Sonny, Social Bite, these guys, I mean, that's the guys I've spoke to that are in this industry of help. I mean... And it sounds like you've spoke to some of them already. So, I mean, Social Bite should be an ease in. Sonny, it's your mission. He'll watch us. He watches them all.
Well, I hope you're watching it, Sonny, and give me a wee shout, and hopefully we can catch up, mate.
Aye. And Paul, if Paul's getting ready to donate, I would implore that Paul gets back in touch with you to say, right, let's do some more of the jackets. I'm going to share this everywhere. I've got a lot to do in January. We've got a sponsor on board to put this out, as I've said to you already. I know that he'll share it. So, and he's got quite a big following at the moment, so I can speak to him to share it as well. Where it all goes, I don't know, but it sounds like to me that you're one guy that is torn in so many directions. You need help as well. You need some volunteers through the door.
And I think the thing is
lighten some of that load on you to free you up to do this. Because the passionate one's you. You're the one going to get the bums on seats, realistically.
I think the thing is as well, it's like you get folk looking to help. I want to volunteer. No, I want to hand out quotes. I don't need somebody to hand out quotes. No. I need somebody to give me...
Chap the door of the funders.
But more importantly, believe in what it is that we're doing. You know what I mean? Believe in what it is that we're doing. And, so there's the folks that's been helping me so far, they believe in what it is that we're doing. And how they prove that is they give their time free to help prove that they believe in what it is that we're doing. And that, you can't buy that. You know what I mean? And that's fantastic. So,
What time are we at?
10:30.
Oh, 54 minutes. Christ, it was 46 yesterday, 54 the day. It's
there
good.
we go. Right. You've had this all. We're recording all right, didn't you? You've had it switched on.
We're not going through this again. But no, it's a very admirable cause. Support wise, we'll certainly share this everywhere. People get to see you, and I mean, I hope people will get some sort of sales out of it for you. Hopefully. I hope so. Yeah. Awareness is everything, and I can't stress to you enough to get talking to as many people as you can. There are so many podcasters out there, right? And some of the bigger names have a bigger reach. I mean, we have a reach, but you know, it's I'm new. You know what I mean?
There's guys going through the same journey in terms of who or what you reach and stuff like that.
I mean, we don't do this. This is probably going to be a kick at some point.
Right. Okay.
You know, I fund this completely ourselves. Yep. We got a sponsor on there now, which is funding this for a year. Aye. And
that's it.
That's it. Aye.
Yeah. I've funded this myself up until now, and that as well. So hopefully that will change.
Claire, hit that jingle. This is my wee happy song just to play out with. It's Pegging the Rejected. It's a free song to use, and it's a great wee ska number. I like it. Dude, that was excellent. I mean, it's time travel. There's an hour done.
Aye.
You know, talking about you, and you're going to leave here and you go, I never said this, and I never said that. But don't worry about that. I'm going to make you have a parting comment to your camera, so I want you to say whatever you need to say to that camera. This is your moment. Parting comment from you, the Ootsider.
So I'd like to say thank you very much to James and to Claire from.
It's not about us, John. It's about you.
No, but what's the name of what you call yourself? The Fly
Fifer Podcast. Aye.
So I'd like to say a really big thank you to James and to Claire from the Fly Fifer. So anyway, I'd like to say thank you. The Fly, aye. So I'd like to say a great big thanks to James and Claire from the Fly Fifer Podcast. Hopefully I get that right. Anyway, no, but if you can,
any supporters, anyone that you can get, tell them. Talk to them.
Yeah. So I'd also like to thank anybody and everybody that's helped us achieve what we've achieved so far. But this is only the start. You know, it'd be brilliant to be sitting here next year, and we've done so much better. You know, we've donated over 1,000 coats. It'd be brilliant to do something like that. We've got, you know, we have some of the. Shit, I'm just talking shite now.
He's rambling. Claire, put me on.
Am I just rambling?
Listen, I say he's rambling. It's his moment to talk. So.
Right.
Are we going for another hour now?
Let's go for another hour now. Aye. So thank you very much to everybody that's supported Ootsider any way, shape or form over the 2.5 years that we've been here. And one that I would like to thank right now at this time is ARC Consultancy, who are doing a sponsored walk for us. And all of the money's coming here. I think it's sitting something like £1,870. I've been doing it in December, so a big thanks there to ARC Consultancy. But, you know, see if I've forgot anybody, I'm really sorry, but I'd like to thank everybody for all your help, support over the last couple of years, and hopefully ongoing. Thank you.
That just leaves me to say adios, amigos. All the links and everything will be on the description. Go to John's page, go to his website, buy a couple of these jackets. There is a GoFundMe, I think. Is that still running?
That's the one for ARC Housing.
That's the ARC one,
I think
that'll
finish today, actually.
All right,
it might still be up,
anyway,
but
yes,
it might still be up. Yep.
Good, John. An absolute pleasure.
No, thank you very much
for your time. Adios, amigos.
Cheers. Right. Cool. Was that all right?